The Sentinel is known to be reliable, fearless, disciplined, consistent, courageous, motivated, and skillful.
So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances.
All these qualities start from the mind. Your mind can be your worst enemy or your most powerful weapon.
The world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
Is this the dagger?
Learn how to achieve greatness and tap into the Sentinel mindset.
Okay, what's up, everybody? We have a very, very special guest. For those of you that are aware of the GTA in Toronto and Peel and our boroughs, we have here Chief Nishan Duraiappah from Peel Regional Police. Thank you so much for taking your time to be part of this. For those listening, we're going to do a much bigger one down the road. But for now, thank you so much for being part of this.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here.
It's great to have you. Again, I should say, they say that your reputation precedes you. We have only heard incredible things about who you are, what you've done, and how you've kind of shaken things up for Peel for good.
Thank you.
Okay, so we kind of, in our little world, we felt, I guess, the ripples of some of the decisions you've made, and it's been awesome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So, the Blue Line Expo obviously provides a lot of exposure for anybody in the law enforcement communities or people that actually could be coming here from security backgrounds looking to get into law enforcement. For yourself, you've been part of these things.
Yeah.
What's your outlook on it and what people can kind of gather from it?
Yeah, for sure. So, obviously at the expo, there are, people and businesses that are in the public safety sector that are here. But without a doubt, I've been coming to the expo for 4 or 5 years now, and there is a ton of people that sign up and register because they're really thirsty for getting exposed to policing in our sector and law enforcement, whatever it might be, and they're potential candidates to try to get into policing. I can't tell you how many business cards. I met a gentleman that you and I chatted about just a few minutes ago, and the stories are pretty jaw-dropping a little bit, right? And the road traveled of people. But this year is a little different because I'm also the president of the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police. It's the first year that we call it OACP. We partnered with the Blue Line Expo.
That's right.
So we're tied at the hip today. So it's a privilege to be able to chat with you about it.
Amazing. So because you see so many people and so many people come out, what would you say would be something, and we kind of touched upon this earlier, how should someone coming in that wants maybe a career in law enforcement, what should they do to stand out?
Yeah, listen, the number one thing I tell people is everything is relationship based. We can teach people skills, the hard skills, but the soft skills you can't teach people.
That's right.
And so in my view, it's the soft skills that have the hard impact, really. So when we see people wanting to come into policing, we need them to be healthy, and there's an element of fitness and being able to problem solve and all those things. But when they can focus and demonstrate that they're good with relationships, the road traveled was good in relationships with either it's familial or community or volunteer. It doesn't matter. That's what stands out to me, and people that can communicate that and do it in a way that looks like, hey, I could see them in a uniform down the road, standing at a curbside, talking to a mom with 2 strollers, problem solving. That's the kind of quality we say. And so one thing we want them to do is when you're coming to situations like this or you're meeting somebody in uniform is build a relationship, because they go a long way. I don't know if I told you this, but I never thought about policing. And my high school teacher just told me about policing once, and I didn't think about it. I was in high school, and I ended up, meeting a bunch of police officers in my home jurisdiction through a summer program. And of course, the job excited me, but the person behind the uniform is what actually connected. Their brothers, sisters, coaches, volunteers. They have their own, burdens in the community, and it's the relationships that turn me to policing. And so, people who want to get interested in it, yes, they're committed, but expose the softer side of yourself.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
a powerful thing.
You kind of basically said quality people will make quality police.
Yeah, for
right?
sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What could you say? We talked about this a little bit before. To the person who's doubting, okay, and the person who's thinking, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Man, police have such high scrutiny.
Yeah.
You know, we see it on social media. It's dominated the waves for the last, 24 months or more. What would you say to that, to someone who, like, deep down really wants to, has considered it, but is now hesitating and thinking, I don't know if I want to, I'm not too sure, like, what it's going to be like. And I think, we see, because we work really closely with people who this is their goal.
Yeah.
And I think, to those that are beyond our circle, that is, the large majority, what would you say to people who are like, I think this might be for me, but, like, how would I know?
Yeah. Okay, so without a doubt, it is one of the most scrutinized professions in the Western world, without a doubt. Broader than that, with oversight bodies, social media, the naysayers, everything that's happened the last 2 years, and the criticism of policing and the defund the police movement, and all that scrutiny, in my view, is some of it we don't need. That is really, really bad. But we're seeing that diminish now, right? Mm-hmm. And I think if somebody's thinking about policing, they just need to look at the long haul and the reason. And can I just talk about the scrutiny piece?
Yes.
So it should be. We've been asked to do something that is a lot of responsibility. Not to quote Spider-Man, what do they say?
Great power is great responsibility.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we want to call those people that are willing to take that type of role on because they have a heart for the community. We have to recognize that we in policing, and me as a chief, it's my job is to protect our people and make sure that they're looked after, that their tires are pumped, but that they're locked on the same reason that they came here. And the young man we're talking to, he said, "Hey, you get paid to serve the community." He goes, "It's a win-win." Wow. And I've never heard somebody say that.
Wow.
Yes.
And so if your heart is that, and you can stay in for the long haul and push through all of the pressures that we're seeing, they will happen. But it's part of the deal. And so I just say, if people are thinking second guessing after the last couple of years of what they've seen in policing, we really want people to see that the heart of what you're doing is very powerful. They can contribute to unraveling some of those issues that we've seen in the past. And that's why we need good people.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And look, just to kind of close, because we know, we're catching in the middle of this expo. We in our organization are leaders where we try to help, inspire, lead, and kind of really help people get to their goals. What we have seen your work and talk through people in your organization, I want to thank you for what you do. I think it's incredible. I think you're bringing that bar up to a place where I think a lot of people can look at and say that's where we should go, and it's just so suited for our time right now.
Yeah,
and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, Constantine. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it, and I think I'm thankful for you being interested in being a vehicle to get people to, wherever their life is going to take them. And if people can come alongside other sectors like your sector, the policing, not-for-profit, social services, and we can bring people into a space where we can make them exponentially greater. It's an amazing thing.
That's better for all of society.
Yeah.
If you look at that, it's amazing. I say, kind of going back to your words, you interpreted scrutiny as accountability.
Yeah.
And rightly so, because of the responsibility that these people hold. So I think that's an incredible mindset. I think kind of going to my question that I said earlier, people should not be afraid of accountability.
No.
There's safety in accountability because you're part of something that's not just you, right?
Yeah, Mike, as we wrap up, one thing I tell people is accountability has had a negative context. To me, it's the same word as commitment. A commitment to the community, we've got a commitment to my own people, and that goes both ways, and we signed up for that, and we want people that are willing to contribute to that. So
that's it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate
It's
your
a pleasure
time.
to meet you.
Absolutely.
Mike,
pleasure.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brother.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Cheers.
This podcast is brought to you by Executive Protection Lifestyle Canada. Make sure to drop by next week and don't forget to subscribe.